welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about one of my absolute favorite makeup products there are, and that is bronzers. I love bronzers. Bronzers are probably, they might be number one as far as makeup products go for me. And the reason being is because they can take your face from flat to looking radiant, to looking dynamic, to giving it some contour, to make it look just like you're alive, to warming it up and giving you that look of warmth and glamour. It's also such an easy product to use. You just kind of throw it on your cheeks, make threes down the side of your face, swipe some across your nose, and it can give you this beautiful sun-kissed glow. It also makes you look alive, it makes you look awake, and it makes you look like, yes, you've been in the sun. When you, especially if you're someone like me who wears sunscreen pretty much 24/7. I mean, I don't sleep in it, but I wear sunscreen all the time, to the point to where even when I get blood work done, I'm usually low in vitamin D and I have to take vitamin D supplements. And I do think a little bit of that has to do with the fact that I'm constantly wearing sunscreen. But I want to protect my skin. I don't want any more age spots. I don't want any more hyperpigmentation. And I want to cut down on wrinkles. So sunscreen is my best friend. I'm also applying it all over my body too when I'm out in the sun. I really believe in it. But you also don't want to look pale and washed out. And bronzer is that product that can help you achieve a look of being sun-kissed by the sun and get this nice glow without having to jeopardize worrying about your skin or worrying about anti-aging and that sort of thing. So bronzer is probably at the top of my must-haves, which means, as I've tried a lot of them and I have a lot of them that I use. So today's video is about the top 5 bronzers that I am currently loving. Now, I use the word currently, and I use that in a lot of videos because my opinions about things and what I reach for changes, especially the fact that we're about to get into the summer months where I'm going to, even with sunscreen on, I'm going to get a little more color on my skin. That's just the way it goes. Now, so what I want for the summer is going to probably different than what I'm reaching for most now. But what I'm showing you are the ones that I'm reaching for most right now. Now, they may not change. Some of these may take me on into the summer and I may continue wearing these. But I do find that in the summertime, I reach for a bronzer that has more of a reddish undertone or an orangey undertone, something that's a little bit warmer. The reason being is because that is how I would look if the sun just naturally touched my skin. For the winter months and kind of the months we're in now, it's more of a neutral type tone. Also, one of the things that I tend to reach for more are matte bronzers this time of year. In the summertime, I go a little bit more with the shimmer or satin. I guess satin maybe is more year-round, but I really tend to reach for matte bronzers more than any other bronzer, and you're going to see that in my collection. Another thing before I start talking about the bronzers that I want to talk about is my eyelashes. I am wearing false lashes today. I rarely ever wear false lashes, but I don't want you to comment down below, oh my gosh, your lashes look so great. What mascara is it? Yeah, no, it is no like powerful, perfect, you know, miraculous mascara. These are just Ardell Wispies that I popped on. So but yeah, so some of these are drugstore. I reach for drugstore bronzers a good bit. Some of them are high end. I'm going to talk about all of them. I have 5, and then I have 1 extra, and I'll tell you why I didn't include that one in my top 5, why I include it as the 1 extra, and you'll kind of understand. But I thought that what I would do first is I would go from least expensive to most expensive. So let's get started. This first bronzer, while it is least expensive, it has very quickly become my favorite. It is one that I picked up probably about 3 weeks ago, and I have not put it down. I have not stopped using it. And that is the e.l.f. bronzer in the shade Golden. And this is what it looks like. Now, when I first looked at it, when I first opened it up, I was thinking, this was a mistake. This looks more like the Bobbi Brown setting powder in nude that I used. And this is something that probably could be a setting powder for me in the summertime. I'm not going to get any kind of bronze payoff for it. You would be so surprised. And I'm not going to do swatches because I don't think swatches on bronzers work at all. I think it's something that you really have to dip your brush in to see what kind of payoff you get. But the thing that I love most about this bronzer is how buildable it is. If you are new to makeup and you don't know, you're scared of dipping your brush into some dark color after you've put your foundation on and focusing it on the high points of your face, if you were afraid that you were going to mess up your makeup look, I would say reach for this one. Go get this one. It comes in at a whopping $4 at Walmart. I just checked the price online, which is a bang for your buck. I cannot say it enough. It has like a four different colors here, and I just take my brush and swirl it in there, and I just take my brush all over my face like so. It's very buildable. It kind of gives a nice glow to it. These are not matte. I would say that they are more like a satin. They're not real, maybe one or two in here are shimmery, but the other two tend to balance it out. So it just kind of creates a nice warm glow to the skin. But yeah, for $4, this one goes to the top of the list, and I have really been loving it lately. Now for summertime, when I am a little bit tanner, which like I said, I don't tan my face, but I mean, it's gonna happen, and the rest of my body is gonna get tanner, so I'm probably gonna darken up my foundation some. This will probably be too light. I'm not sure if they have other shades. I'm sure they probably do, but I think for $4, you really can't beat this. And I love e.l.f.'s packaging. e.l.f. Really is a great dupe on packaging for NARS. It's beautiful. It comes with this nice mirror, and for $4, you just can't beat it. So staying in the drugstore, I just checked the price on this next one, and this is my beloved butter bronzer from Physicians Formula, and it checks in on Walmart online at a whopping $13.23. So $13.23 is what you can purchase this for at Walmart. I think at Ulta it's around $15, but a lot of times at Ulta they do like buy one get one half, so you can look out for that. The biggest complaint that I've heard people say about this bronzer is the smell. When I opened it just then, I got a nice whiff of coconut. It really reminds me of the beach every time I open this. The brush that I use for bronzer, I think permanently smells like the beach because I use this. I have used this pretty much the whole winter before I got the e.l.f. one. I love it. It is such, again, I'm not going to swatch it for you, but it is such a creamy formula. Like, it feels just like silk on the skin. Again, you can see this is a very neutral bronzer. This is a bronzer that you could also use to contour with because it is not that warm. It is definitely a cooler toned, and you could definitely get away with using this as a contour. But I think that this one is great. It's buildable, it's silky on the skin, it looks nice on the skin. It has the feel of a higher end bronzer. If I were to be blindfolded and it didn't have a scent, I would think that this was a $50 bronzer. It's that good. So again, this is Physicians Formula, the butter bronzer, and I have mine just in the regular one. It does come in a lighter shade, but mine is just in the regular one. So moving up the price scale, this one comes in at $40 at Ulta, and it is my beloved NARS Laguna. And you are going to see that I have hit pan in 2 different locations on this bronzer. This bronzer is just such a wonderful matte neutral bronzer. It feels really nice. It's not as silky as the butter bronzer, but it feels good on the skin. It also has a good tone. Look at that tone it has. It has a cooler toned bronzer. I reach for this to contour all the time because I don't have just a separate contour powder, which is something I really need in my collection. This is usually what I travel with for contour purposes. I will usually use another bronzer but then go into contour. This also is great on your eyelid to create some contour there. If you don't want to do a major eye look, if you just want something simple to give your crease a little bit of contour, this is wonderful for that. And I reach for this a lot for that. It comes in at $40, which doesn't break the bank. It is a nice size pan, and I have had this one, I would say, for a while, and I just always go back to it. It's just a staple in my collection. This is a bronzer that chances are, if I were to do this video 5 or 6 months from now when summer has hit, this is still going to be in the top 5. Moving up in price, now we're at $50, and this is the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel, and it looks like this. This is a very interesting product. It is more like a cream, but it's not a cream, if that makes sense. As I put my finger in it now, it feels creamy, but the minute like it makes contact with your skin, it goes so soft, like kind of similar to a powder. I apply it with a brush. I have found that's the best way to do it. I apply this over powder. This is actually the bronzer that when I break out my Laura Mercier Mineral Foundation, which is the powder foundation, I like this bronzer best. It sits great on top of the powder, and I feel like it doesn't add an extra layer of powder. But it works great. It makes your skin look so pretty. It's glowing. It's not real warm, but it's not real cool either. It's right there in between, which makes it for me a perfect bronzer. But yes, it is a little more on the pricier side. It comes in at $50. This is my second one. I can say that they do last a really, really long time, so you definitely do get your money's worth out of this one. But this one is definitely in my top 5 as being the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel bronzer. Last in my favorite top 5 bronzers is the Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow. Now this one comes in at $68, but you also get a highlighter, and you get a highlighter that is a beautiful highlighter. It seems like in some palettes that throw in a highlighter, it's a highlighter that's not really very pretty. It doesn't show up on the skin, and it's something that you're never really going to reach for. You are going to use this highlighter. This highlighter is something you might use even if you don't use the bronzer. It gives you such a nice glow. I've really been reaching for this highlighter a lot here lately, especially if you don't want that knock you out highlight. It's a gorgeous, subtle, just gives you a glow. So now that I've talked about the highlight, let's talk about this bronzer. This bronzer is a beautiful bronzer, and this bronzer is perfect to contour with as well. You can bronze your skin up with this and then go in with a sharper contour. You don't want your contour to be too sharp. But if you take this on a fluffy brush and really just bronze up the skin good, and then take it on a more precise brush and really carve out that contour, it's kind of like a 2-for-1. You can do both with this one powder. I really say that this is matte. I would say this is more like a satin. You're not going to get a lot of sparkle or anything out of it, which I really don't want sparkle in my bronzer. And you're not really going to get a lot of shimmer, but you are going to get a little bit of glow, which is nice to have in a bronzer. So yeah, this one comes in at $68, but you are getting both of these. So you could say that this one comes in actually more like around $34. But yeah, this is the Charlotte Tilbury one, and I've been reaching for this one a ton this winter. So my last honorable mention is the Hourglass one. Now one reason why I did not include the Hourglass bronzer in my 5 is because I don't have the full size. I have this little one, and this is called the Luminous Bronze Light. The small size comes in at $24. The larger size comes in at $50. One of the things too that I would say about this bronzer is I don't think I have ever taken this bronzer initially and bronzed up my face. The reason being is because it does have so much sheen to it. Now, it's not an offensive type sheen, and it's not for lack of a better word, a tacky type sheen. I mean, it's a very glowy, pretty bronzer. But for me, one of the ways, and maybe it's too because I just have the small size, but the main way I like to use this is, say, if I'm touching up my makeup to go out at night, instead of adding more bronzer, this is the bronzer I add on top of what I already have. Or if I already have bronzed up my face and I feel like it looks a little flat, like I need a little bit of glow, I put this one on top. So that's kind of the way I go about using this bronzer. I am considering picking up the full size one, but I really can't justify it because, I mean, I haven't hit pan or anything on this one. I'm still going strong with this one. Yeah, I don't really think that I can go in, I have any reason to go in and get the big one, but I am enjoying this, and I will probably, I could very much so see this one inching up into the top 5, especially this summer when I do want to look a little bit more glowy, a little bit more glistening than I do this time of year. So stay tuned to see if this one creeps up into the top 5. So yeah, so those were my top 5 plus 1 of my current favorite bronzers that I am reaching for. Let me know in the comments below what bronzers you are currently loving. I would love to know if there are some that I need to be trying out. And if you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to me here and on Instagram. So as always, I hope this video finds you having a fantastic day and a great week, and I will see you all very soon. Bye y'all.